we're going to have a nice, honest conversation about the format. I'm not going to hold any stops back against my personal opinions and things that I've seen from other people. This might end up being a bandless discussion. It might not be. But we need to have just a nice little conversation about what's going on and the possibility of an impact. Because all I've heard from everybody is, hey, Robbie, where's your bandless thoughts? Where are they at? You'll get them in due time. But let's dig on into this discussion, shall we? Alright, I've heard some really interesting opinions from people after the YCS this weekend, and it's honestly just been, this format is okay. We don't need changes, and I kind of agree with that. And that's not just because I'm some shit-tier Skye Striker player that picked up the deck. Alright guys, like, no bias aside there, but things are decent right now. Now, I personally am not the biggest fan of Salad in the world, and I had my conversation with this, and a lot of people strongly disagreed with me on when I said and compared the deck to Monarchs in the deck's lifespan. You know, it's a very good budget deck, but in the past, Konami has shown that they do not like budget decks existing. They kind of hinder the market, which, you know, we need players to buy product, and if you're able to play your old deck, I have bad news for you. You are not contributing to the secondary market of buying new cards. So, you know, in that regard, you know, Salad and Monarchs they're kind of in the same place. You know, Monarchs got solidly hit. I understand that they had Domain, Robbie. Oh, that was a comment that I had was, well, the decks aren't the same. Like, Domain didn't let your opponent play while you can play through the 3 negate board. Well, no shit, Sherlock. But, you know, having to top deck an MST to clear off Domain as opposed to having to waste 3 cards, like, they're still comparable, in my opinion. But the biggest complaint that I myself have in this current format right now is the board that Salad makes. And when we had that discussion, you know, we did talk about potential bans. You know, right now the community is very, very, very against Gazelle. I think if anything were to actually happen to the deck, I think it's going to be around Gazelle itself. There was even like a little hashtag ban Gazelle going around on Zodiac, which was really adorable. People really tried to push the note on that one, but you know, ultimately it was just kind of fell on deaf ears. Like, I know it's got its support. I know that people want to see the deck be checked, but you know, there's still plenty of people that are sitting at the dinner table that are like, no, there's no fucking point to ban or do anything to the format because, you know, it's fine the way it is. And we'll talk about that in a little bit in this video. I'm just kind of like, these are the general opinions I'm hearing amongst people. And it's kind of good to regurgitate this shit back to people, sorry. Indigestion, I know. So anyway, next up we have to talk about Skye Striker. Now, I understand that everybody hates Skye Striker at the moment. And this isn't just your average hate. The thing that people, I think, are disgruntled about Skye Strikers at the moment is the deck has done well for this long. I've kind of noticed a trend in the game that if a deck exists for as long as it does, people get discouraged by seeing it more. And I get that. All right, I understand that when you have something as consistent as this running around, you know, you're going to discourage the player base. But you have to ask yourself this question. Engage is getting the reprint in July. What is the point in doing anything to the deck now when you're going to hurt possible sales in the future? And to the one guy that's going to comment down below, down there, and say, they'll never ban cards based on the fact that, you know, why would we do that? Why would we ban a card when, you know, a reprint's coming? And you're exactly right, young duelist. Why would we want to hurt sales on future sets? And that's something that I think a lot of people, money drives the ban list. So do issues in the current format, but, you know, with biases and things like that, then yes. I don't think Skye Striker is going to get touched anytime soon. And, you know, along with everybody else that kind of figured out the format, yeah, Pure Thunder is just the shittiest matchup for Pure Skye Striker. Like, having to have Widow Anchors to negate stuff on top of, I almost think the deck's evolutions hurt it in its Skye Striker matchup, which is really funny when you think about it. But in the long run, you know, I don't think Skye Striker's Like, what are you going to do? Hit Widow Anchor and engage? Or are you going to ban Ray, like the ban list predictions I was reading the other day? Now, it's all okay. All right. So, general consensus I've been seeing here across all forms of discussion as of late have been the format's pretty okay. You know, and this is coming from a lot of the competitive players, not the casual intermediates that are playing the game right now. The competitive scene right now seems to be fine. You've got a triangle that's working itself out. You've got Thunder, you've got Skye Striker, and you've got Salad, which are literally battling each other out. Now, at the Team YCS this weekend, we definitely saw more Thunder than I think we've actually seen up until this point. And I'm shocked that Thunder actually got the chance to sit at the dinner table. Like, it is, to me, Thunder's the weakest of the big three. Just because, like I said, I think the deck's evolutions kind of hurt it. And why play Thunder when you can play Skye Striker and Salad, which are absurdly more consistent at times? You know, call it what it is, but that's the downside to the format. Like, consistency rules all. Now, Thunder is really good in what it does. You know, setting up these huge monsters, Colossus on legs. You know, Thunder King on legs is really good. Being able to jam your opponent from not searching and engaging in the game, that's fantastic. But once again, do we need to hurt the deck? Do we need to touch it? Like, ever since Gold Sark went away and we limited Brilliant Fusion, the deck really became fair. Like, I don't know. Obviously, like, when you're playing Skye Striker, like, you don't want to see multiple Colossuses across the table, but, you know, that's what you have Hayate for. You have to sacrifice a battle phase to get the chance to play the game. And I get that can be frustrating because, you know, we're hashtag we want to play the game, but there is that. So, I think we're in an interesting place, though, in the current format, because almost everybody's satisfied. And what are you going to do? Like, we actually have whatever the hell this mess, Infinity Chasers coming out. You know, people are going to want to pick up Evil Eye, and I personally, I'll go more in depth in the whole concept of Evil Eye, but until we actually get Manhunt, I don't think the deck is going to do anything. The reason why the deck, Manhunt is such a dumb card, you know, translation name pending in the TCG, but being able to have a trap Widow Anchor that you can resolve against your opponent, take their monster over to your side of the field, and then use it to climb link ladders, stop detrimental effects against yourself, you know, and also having a minimal engine for Evil Eye already present. Like, yeah, the three archetypes in this set, I don't think are going to change the game as of this point in time. But that doesn't mean, and this will be quoted back to me, I'm sure, when I do my discussion later in the week, it's literally just, hey, you know, you should probably be giving some major consideration to picking up Evil Eye. Like, seriously, when this deck gets the chance to roll on out in this set, like, it'll be very cheap, but when we start to get that support later on in the next set, you know, when Manhunt actually becomes legal, then I think that'll be when the deck will actually push off. But the deck, I think, might be good enough to do something on a regional level, quite possibly. Meanwhile, Witchcraft and the Infinity Track itself, I don't think are really that great. Now, final thoughts for this. So I just needed to get this out. Like, I've been reading a lot of general consensus and comments right now that, do we even need a ban list at the moment? A personal vendettas aside, like I said, I think there are a few things that I would like to see be cleaned up just because I'm not a personal fan of what Salad does. I get that. But it's interesting to see that players are satisfied with the current format. There doesn't really seem to be any real issue outside of the people that will lose to X deck on Dueling Book and post their fantastic ban list predictions online, and then I'll sit here and make a video about them because they're absolutely hilarious. Like, these wish list / predictions are hilarious in their own right, and I do think that, you know, I wish people understood how to play this game. You know, aside, like, I get general fundamentals and things like that, but there are just things that make sense that I guess other people just don't understand. So, guys, please, comment down below. Tell me what you guys think is going on. Do you really think the format is okay? Please tell me what you guys think. And, well, guys, I'm out. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.